main girl in the private section, yeah. Blowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed, yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Y'all. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides.
We're getting kicked off very consistently today, so if we have issues streaming, the episode will still be recorded. You can catch the audio later, or we'll upload the video after the fact, so we'll see how it goes.
There'll come a day when they run out of grace, so me and my niggas stay trapping. Yeah, ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Hey, someone be too who I wanted to be and then what I became. Ended up going my own way, but I couldn't stay in my lane. Now if I'm honest, I've taken a liking to wearing these chains. They hold me down, make it easier when I start feeling the pain. Out of the overflow, your heart, they say your mouth speaks. Well, my heart must be fucked up, cause I can't speak and I can't sleep, so I stay woke in this daydream. Got shit to do, got the world to see, got the same crew, got some new fleets. There's an empire, fuck a boutique, that's real. I only say what I feel, got a new plate with the same meal, on a new height with the same chill. Y'all too fake, I stay real, got cast down from heaven, but I'm too good to stay in hell. I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, hey, I don't know where the story ends, but I keep writing like oh well, oh well. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the stone. When my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private. It's been a while since I dropped this shit. Swole fam, y'all better run this up. KD, let's go. Yeah. Aye, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, yeah. You know we don't play guys. I'm blessed, I never said I didn't struggle. I finesse, I never said I didn't hustle. These niggas talk so loud, the way I move is subtle. I'm the ocean, but these niggas just a puddle. Ay, oh, I swear I'm delusional. These niggas ain't using me. They want my energy, ain't nothing new, this is usual. These figures confusing me. What's gotten into me? They say I'm using their cubicles. Clipping KD like some cuticles. None of this shit is excusable. Don't need a muse when I'm musical. Ay, cause I said it double. Gorilla beard, these niggas only rockin' stubble. The realest nigga make these bitches start to stumble. Ay, East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys, yeah. East Coast with that gang gang, West Coast with that gang gang, global with that gang gang, you know we don't play guys.
The following program is rated TV MANOC. It contains a big pair of nuts directly on your chin. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
fuck your pumpkin spice.
Obesity is epidemic in the United States and a major cause of death.
What is fat activism?
I, a fat person, am sharing my own lived experience.
Pizza is a vegetable.
Your fat phobia is your problem.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
Radical body positivity.
What can men do against such reckless hate?
There's only one man who can help me.
This is for you new people. I only have one rule. Everyone fights, no one quits.
This day we fight!
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome.
Testing. Testing, testicles. Ooh, welcome everyone to episode 23 hundo and 51 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and your hoes? It's your boy Papa Swole, back with another episode. Today's episode, the Beastcast, is brought to you, is powered, is sponsored by Everson K2 Flexing on all you
fucking Catalina wine.
Yeah,
it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer. The fucking Catalina wine mixer.
What's going on, fam? Happy Thursday, October the 13th. And I'm well aware of the throttling from YouTube. It is what it is. It's all good on my end, but you never know. Sometimes we had some issues yesterday, so hopefully it eases up, but if not, we will upload the video after the fact. So if it cuts off again, going to be continuing the show, and we'll have the video episode uploaded, and of course the audio will be continuous as well, so you'll be able to catch it, at least the replay. But hopefully it stabilized a little bit. Who knows what's going on? Maybe they're working on the lines and stuff like that. So we will do the best that we can. We don't stop, beaches. We don't fucking stop. Skittle America. We don't stop. We don't stop. It is what it is. We got a little Rufus here. Aww. So what's going on? Mia, how we doing? Calvin, Tyler, Jeremy, Nerd Guy, what's up? Wax, Grizzly, how we doing? Cerny, Guy, everyone, Julia in the Daily Swole Telegram chat. Welcome to the show. And yeah, we are crushing it every single day. Hopefully you are enjoying your Thursday. I hope you went to the fucking gym. If not, you better be on your fucking way. Make sure you hit the like button and drop some comments. And if you're watching live on YouTube, number one thing is hit the like button. It's always weird and it's fucking retarded if we have X amount of people watching and then a fraction that hit the like button. It's so important to hit the like button. It's not a gag. It's literally very important, because if everyone came in and hits the like button, it's going to distribute more. We're probably going to get more bandwidth. It's going to be a better situation. So if you're watching the show, it takes 2 seconds. Use your thumb and tap the thumbs up on YouTube. It means a lot, and it'll help a lot tremendously. Trust me. We can use it. That's for sure. Okay, we're going to get into today's episode right away. That way, if we have any issues, hopefully we can make it through. Welcome to the show. Let's bust the nut open. We got a great show today, and we shall not waste any time. Let's summon the Falcon and get today's party started. Oh, that was solid. That was nice. Maybe the voice of an angel will help with the bandwidth. Let's go. All right. Hashtag BD. You might not want to type the whole thing. Hashtag Dick Draft for a chance to win today's Swole card. And it's a beautiful, beautiful card indeed. Cheers, Leo, you raging alcoholic. My God, put the bottle down for just 2 seconds. Come on, it's a fucking Thursday. Can you wait one more day? You shouldn't be drinking anyway. It's not good for you. It's poison. All right, get your coffee, get your bone broth, get your vegan tears ready, and let's get into the show today, shall we? Let's get a nice good one going. I'll spit on it. Let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch, an inch. It's cold outside. All right, it is Thursday, so that means tomorrow we have a special overtime segment for members inside Swolenormous X. If you're ready to join the fam, we have Fuck Your Resolution specials going on right now. Swolenormousx.com, and overtime segment goes live immediately following tomorrow's public live stream, so don't miss out on overtime tomorrow. And also, oh my God, the epic apparel Depth Vader now available over at papaswolio.com. Use code DailySwole for 10% off. We also have, you better get these while they're hot. You better get these while they're available because it's perfect timing. It's October. You can rock this the entire holiday season. It's Fuck Your Resolution seasons. And of course, we have Frosty the Swole Man drop. Go to the fucking gym. That is a sick design. Get yours today. Again, use Daily Swole for 10% off. We got the Harry Squatter 2.0. We also have Swoler Things, which is awesome. We have vegan tiers. We have the gear. We have the apparel. We have the cups. And of course, we have the shirts and the tanks made with 100% vegan tiers. And we have Swoleopoly, the greatest game never made. Go get all your new merch over there at papaswolio.com. Code DailySwole for 10% off. Rock that shit. Cover those nips. Cover your nips with the best merch in the game. Let's get into the first Swole Fam post. What we got for fam? Here we go.
What's in the box?
From the Swole Fam Discord from 7012IO. It's a weird name. Hey all, good morning everyone. I'm looking at beginning the elimination diet next week, but the more I look, the more challenging I find to stay 4 weeks on such a limited regime. Wish me good luck. It's actually 6 to 8, so you should be doing it longer than 4 weeks. So I would recommend doing at least 6. 8 is optimal, and it's actually not limited if you focus on very nutritious animal products, pastured eggs, grass-fed beef. You're eating just meat and fruit, essentially. You'll be totally fine. It's really easy to stick to it once you start clearing out all the garbage, especially if you're getting nutrient-dense foods. So, getting in organ meats and stuff is very important, and you'll be much more satisfied. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. And after the 6 to 8 weeks, you'll be like, oh my God, how the fuck did I ever not do this? So essentially, this is just customizing your nutrition. The elimination diet is just taking it down to the lowest common denominator in order to make sure that you are able to test and individualize and notice all those negative effects on your body from the foods that you are consuming, so you can kind of isolate which foods work best for you. We got a post here from Welcome to the Fam. Welcome. Don't be intimidated, right? If you're anxious about it, you're just creating this worry for no reason. So don't make it something that it's not, right? Literally, don't make it something that it's not. It's a great thing. And elimination sounds like you're restricting yourself, but in reality, because I didn't create the name, but it's really important that you think of it as a positive. You're actually proactively eating the foods that work best for you. You're not restricting yourself from foods. You're actually cutting out garbage that shouldn't be going in your face hole anyway. All right. Ana Luisa, my husband is worried about one of our friends, that he's letting himself go. Oh no. I told him to go to the gym together. That way they each have a workout buddy. He legit said, if I don't work out with you, I'm not going to go with my friend. I felt bad for laughing, but I thought it was the funniest thing. Papa is right that motivation is a lying, cheating whore. It certainly is. If I don't work out with you, I'm not going to go with my friend. Does that mean that obviously if he's not training with you, he's not going to have the quote motivation, which is bullshit anyway, but the motivation to go on his own, I suppose? One of the things when it comes to a workout partner, I honestly don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem to have someone that you train with. I just don't think it's a good idea. More cases than not, you'll work your schedule around when that person is free, or if they can't go, oh, can we go at 7? I can't make it this time. Like, okay. And then you keep on, you're going to work your schedule around when they're available. If you're going at X time and if they're available and they can show up with you, that's different. But if you're adjusting your schedule to match what someone else's shit is, I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a terrible idea. In most cases, I don't think you should have a workout partner, just because you need to be driven yourself. You need to schedule around your own, what's optimal for you. And if someone else's wants to work around yours, that's on them. But I think for you, if I'm talking to you as an individual, you need to make sure that you're doing what's right for you, and you need to be getting to the gym no matter what someone else is doing. So you start to get dependent. You'll start to get dependent on having that other person there. If they're not there, you're like, well, I don't have a spotter. It'll throw you out of your routine if you don't have them once you get used to training with someone else. So it's important to do it on your own. And then if someone wants to train with you, that's different, but needs to be on your terms. I just think you should be doing it yourself. And then you have to slow yourself down, because if you take it more seriously and they're not taking it seriously, it's going to drag you down, whether you realize it or not. It's going to slow you down. You're going to have to be training them and educating them. Do you want to be training someone else, or do you want to be pushing yourself? Again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't help other people, but if you want to help someone else, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But you should go work out for you, and then maybe you train hard, and then they meet you at the gym after, and you stay for a half an hour longer, and then you show them how to do something. So it's not taking away from your training session. Just my thoughts on the matter. Okay, let's see. Let's get into another post here. We got one from Brian. Ooh, I like the chiseling one. Let's see what we got here. What up, fam? Saw this image and thought I would share it here as a reminder to keep working. Don't give up and don't give in. Change doesn't happen in one day or with one swing of the hammer. Keep chipping away every day. Stay consistent. Hashtag fuck your resolutions and hashtag 7 pillars. And for those of you that are just listening, it's that image of someone who's like kind of in an obese body, but chiseling away at themselves. It's out of clay. And of course, underneath is someone who's muscular and lean. So that's a great concept, that you have a better you inside. And this doesn't mean that, again, the fat acceptance and fat positive and lazy fucks out there are going to say, well, it doesn't mean if I'm fat, I'm beautiful too. That's subjective. You're definitely not healthy, and you can definitely be more beautiful. There's a reason why people opt for someone who looks healthier. It's just called natural selection, and it's what humans actually want and desire. They want someone that's going to be more fit, more able to navigate this world. It's just a fact of the matter. Doesn't mean that people don't have fetishes. Doesn't mean that you're not a good person, but it means you might not be the best person to your own self. You might not be respecting yourself enough and putting the effort in to take care of yourself. And it's a different type of environment than it used to be. You used to be subjected to physical labor and stresses and hardships because it was called life. It was called life. It was hard because it was hard. You didn't have refrigerators and air conditioning, and you didn't have Amazon Prime. Now, when you have everything so easy, you have to create the hard. You have to create the hard. You have to create the difficulty. You have to create those challenges. You have to do it yourself. And that's what training is. That's what lifting is. Because you might be going to work, but you're going to sit in an office. That's not hard. You're not doing anything physical. You're thinking, okay, it might be annoying. It might be draining. It might be exhausting. The hours might be long. But is it really hard? No, you're in an air-conditioned room and you're on the phone all day. I'm not saying everyone works in that same way. Some of you have very physically laborious jobs, but you get my point. When you're training, even when you're doing construction, you're doing physical labor, but you're not doing physical labor to save your own life. You're not building a wall to keep out tigers. You're not constantly on edge that there's going to be a lion around the corner ready to, or a mountain lion to rip your fucking throat out, or a wolf. You're just working and doing that thing. You're not on edge. You're not on alert 24/7. It's a different type of life, and we should be grateful for it, but we have to create those difficulties in order to appreciate what we have, and in order to satisfy those innate needs from our evolution. And true, you never know. You might have, can you imagine? Just a fucking mountain lion coming out of nowhere. Some people have to deal with that shit. Some people have just a mountain lion coming out of nowhere if you live in California and stuff. Devin from our Swole Fam discussion boards. Good day, mates. My name is Devin. I'm 21 years old, male. My fitness journey started in March of this year. I was 5 foot. I was 5'7" tall. I'm assuming you're still 5'7", but I get it. 203 pounds. That's 92 kilograms, and decided that this had to change. So 5'7", 203. All right, that's a hefty boy. I was very unhappy with myself physically and mentally. I started going to the gym 3 days a week, with a full body workout routine that I made up myself, nothing special. And I managed to cut my weight down to 132 pounds. Holy shit, you managed just to lose 70 fucking pounds. Wow. That's impressive.
Wow.
This was in September. Having built a bit of muscle, I was looking above average. My approach to losing weight was counting calories, and it, quote, worked. I didn't have lots of body fat anymore, but I felt like death. I was deficient in a few things because of the nutrient-lacking foods I was eating. So when I broke up with my girlfriend and found out that my grandma was dying from cancer in the same hour, oh man, that's a shitty day. I just couldn't take it anymore. I started binging and then restricting, one day eating 6,000 plus calories and the next 2 eating less than 1,600 if I ate at all. I am done counting calories. I have already started the elimination diet. If you eat the right shit, you don't have to count shit. Fact. Sorry about the long intro. I just want everyone to know why I'm here, for the community and for that knowledge cock. I am looking forward to getting swole with the Swole fam and getting to know my new community. Welcome. What a post. What a post. And let me tell you, if you're 5'7", 132, you are frail. So definitely want to be putting on the muscle, eating the right foods, and you need to lift some fucking weights. You need to gain some muscle, bro. 5'7", if you want to be muscular, what's a good weight for 5'7"? 165 probably with muscle, 170. You know, I mean, depends on how much muscle you want to put on, but you probably need to put on like 30, 40 pounds of muscle, in my opinion. But everyone has their own preferences. But, you know, that's not to be overwhelming or to cause anxiety. Oh my God, I got to gain weight. But that's a good sign. You have a lot of, that's why you felt like death, because you were restricting. Like you said, you weren't eating nutrient dense food. You need to put on some muscle. You need to lift some more fucking weights and eat some real goddamn shit. And you're going to be feeling real good. You're going to be feeling real good. Welcome, Devin. You're in the right place. No doubt about it. And our, let's see, last Swole fam post. This one's from Gator Bell. From the Discord. Papa, I am weak in the knees. Weak in the knees for what? Literally. Ah, gotcha. After working 8 years at an office job, my poor knees are achy and slightly painful. Do you have any advice to best strengthen these so I can improve my workouts with less risk of injury? Yeah, we've been talking about this a lot the last couple of days. Go to the masterclass section, check out the ankle, knee, and hip masterclasses. And I would recommend doing some light reverse sled on pretty much a daily basis. You can put on 25 pounds or 45 and walk backwards for, I don't know, 50 meters or so. Do a little bit every day. Do those coats of paint. So reverse sled is very, very important. That's going to be great for strengthening your knees and getting a lot of blood flow there, but also strengthening the tendons, the patellar tendon, and also doing mobility. So yoga is very important, but those other exercises like anterior tibialis activation, you could do them against a wall. You could do them with a tib bar, but leaning back against a wall and doing toe lifts is a great thing to strengthen your ankle complex. And a lot of times the knees are compromised because of limitations and restrictions at the ankle and also at the hip. So when you go through those master classes, you practice those exercises and it'll help you tremendously. So great post. Sorry to hear about your knee pain, but that will help tremendously. And also, of course, proper nutrition. You can have a lot of inflammation and knee pain and joint pain from nutrition. So good questions and great posts. All right. So let's get into some questions. If you have questions, hashtag #AskPapaSwolio. And hopefully we'll continue to make it through the episode. And remember, if it gets cut off or anything like that, we'll continue the episode and it'll be uploaded in entirety to YouTube and the other platforms. And of course, the podcast will be just fine if you're listening to the podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, Coach Daddy Craig, appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing the podcast. Thank you for supporting the show. Really, truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you so much, dude. Let's take a question from, let's see, we have one from the Telegram chat. I'm going to read it because I'm not going to show it up on the screen, from Guy. And Guy says, good morning. My mobility is not awesome. And I keep working on trying the Swolga. I guess I'm a definition of a beginner as I can barely do some of the starting basic poses. Any thoughts on sources for me to see and learn the moves relating to all the names? So as you're mentioning the move from one pose to another, I know what I'm doing. I currently find myself trying to see the iPad whilst doing the motion of the pose and falling flat on my face. Well, one, you can pause. You can look through the moves and practice one at a time. You don't have to keep up with the class. You can pause the video. You can watch. What I would recommend, there's a couple different ways to do it. You can slow down the play. You can look at 2 moves in advance and then hit the pause button and then practice them on your own. You don't have to do the Swolga front to end. You can watch two poses and the transition or the next transition, pause it, and then practice that a couple times on your own, and then hit the play button, watch the next two, and then practice on your own. You can also go into the instructional section in the yoga studio. We have a bunch of tutorials from Alex, and she's breaking down the poses. So if you haven't gone through in the yoga studio, do that. And you might also want to do one of the starter classes. So you could do the Swolga. You could also look at the starter yoga class section in the yoga studio, or also the chair yoga. But I would recommend practicing. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to be stumbling, but that's the whole point of practicing. So check out the starter classes, check out the instructional videos. That's going to break down the poses like you mentioned. And also you can watch 1 or 2 sequences and then hit the pause button and then practice that. The most important thing is that you learn, and usually it's the transitions, and don't be surprised if you're going to be falling on your face. If you're not falling around and stumbling and losing your balance, and you're not really practicing properly. You're not pushing yourself outside your comfort zone. Oh my God, we got a call from Damon Matt. I wonder who it is.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon? What if we open up the call and it's like, Matt Damon?
So within the last month, I've been seeing ads all over, like Facebook and Instagram, how milk is better than water when it comes to hydration. I don't know why people are pushing this, but I want to know what your thoughts are on it.
I'm sorry, what? Has anyone else seen these ads on milk being better? That's retarded. That's silly. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Not to mention, pasteurized milk is trash. If you're going to have milk, you want to opt for raw milk. Raw milk, you can go to realmilk.com and find a local supplier. You could order online too. Absolutely not. And of course, water might not be optimal for hydration. You also need to be getting in electrolytes and stuff like that. So, no. I've never seen this. I have no idea. I've never heard that before. I've never heard anyone say that because I would laugh in their face. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I have not heard that. That's definitely Matt Damon. That's definitely stupid. But if you're going to have dairy, make sure it's grass-fed, make sure it's raw, and you might have, because raw dairy also has other enzymes that will help people that might have issues with pasteurized dairy digest, but yeah, I've never heard that. That's absolutely, dare I say it, and I do dare say it, that's fucking retarded.
Everybody knows you never go full retard.
Question here from Danush Raja. Raja Danush. All right. Will our height reduce when lifting weights? No.
Matt Damon.
No. Your height might decrease as you get older because your intervertebral discs lose like fluid and you might compress a little bit. But if you're strength training and you're doing decompression and yoga, you'll maintain your height a lot better over time. But lifting weights does not, no. Doesn't reduce your height unless you just like put on 1,000 pounds and it compresses you into like the size of a Smurf. Jace Apex, how many Papa Swolios does it take to change a light bulb? Just one. Just one. Yeek. Just one. Why would it take more than one? I'd like to say I use the force, the Swole side of the force, and just tighten that shit. ATI Dijon. Do you train every day with meals and maces aside of your regular workout session? So I used to do a lot of like both. So here's what I do, a couple different things. Depends on what I'm doing that day. So if today's an upper body day, for example, today before doing the show, I like doing the show first thing in the morning. I don't like waiting till later in the day. I like to get it out first. One, because it's a great way to start the day for me, for all of you. And I just think it's a better flow to do the show first thing. So I also like to train first thing. So I wake up, I drink my like 32 ounces or so of water. I have my electrolytes in the water. I do like a 2 to 3 minute cold plunge. I take the dogs out and I usually bring like a 10-pound mace and a light kettlebell and I do some mobility stuff. So I kind of thread the needle there, getting some movement first thing, which I think is the most important. I don't think it's, for me, I find the flow is great. Like I don't necessarily need to lift heavy weights first thing in the morning, but I need to move. So I'll get my hip flexors warmed up and glutes, and I'll do some mobility, some Swolga. I'll do some light mace, and I'll do some light kettlebell stuff and hip extension and all those different types of things. So that's usually what I'll do. And then I'll rinse off and then, make coffee and if Mama Swole is going to work or whatever, and then I'll do the show. So we start the show at like 9, 10, like we're doing right now. Sometimes earlier, depends. So I like to do a little bit mobility. If anything, I like doing some mobility first. Now, when it comes to, so the reason why I said that is because today I did some like 10-pound mace. I might do some more mace later, but at least I get some light stuff. I'll do light mace or light meals or light clubs almost every day, but I won't go heavy. So you have to treat that like your normal training. So if I'm doing, let's say, heavy mace is exactly that. It's heavy. So if I'm doing like 48-pound mace or 40-pound mace, that's fucking heavy. That's a lot of heavy swinging. So to do that and then to do weights, that's like doing 2 heavy weight training sessions in a day. It's a lot of pressure on the joints because remember, maces and meals are a lot more taxing on the connective tissue than the muscle tissue themselves. Okay. So if you are overloading yourself with clubs and meals, that's a lot on the connective tissue. And then you're compromised when you go into a training session. So you can go light. You can grab a 10 or 15-pound mace and do single arm or 2 arm or do some light clubs and then do a heavy weight training session. Or if you're doing heavier or high intense or really you're pushing yourself with the maces or meals, that would be fine for a workout session in itself. So just keep in mind that the training is different. Heavier weight training, yes, it works your ligaments. Yes, it works your tendons, of course, but it's more taxing on the soft tissue, on the muscle tissue, rather than the maces and the meals are going to be much more on the ligaments and more on the ligaments and more on the tendons and the connective tissue. So it's a lot more in that sense. So you could use it light as a warm-up. Rufus, stop. You could use it light as a warm-up, or you can focus on going heavy, and then, of course, you're going to need recovery. So you don't want to go super hard with that and then super hard with weights. You're just going to wear yourself down and probably lead to like some kind of tendonitis or an issue. So I do like to train every day, but if I'm doing an upper body session and I did some heavy meals in the Jories, I went really heavy yesterday, and I did some heavy mace the day before. So today, if I do anything, I'm just going to grab the very light clubs and just do like, warm up or some dead hangs. And then tomorrow I'll do it again. So I'm not going to do any kind of intense connective tissue. So I look at more of the mace and the meals as more of like connective tissue and joint training. So when I conceptualize it more like that, I make better decisions with my periodization and I don't overdo it and cause too much pressure. The last thing you want to do is overdo it when it comes to maces and meals and get inflammation, because that's going to affect everything. So you want to use that as creating dense joints and then build on that. So on a regular basis, I could do the 10-pound mace, or I can do the 2, 3, or 5-pound clubs every single day just to get it going. That's a nice coat of paint every day. But I'll probably go heavy with that maybe once or twice a week, depending on my other training schedule and stuff like that. So good question. Hopefully that gave a lot of you, or a lot more of you, some value too and some other insights. All right. Hashtag Ask Papa Swole to be featured on the live stream. Let's see. Rihanna, for winter, I'm in southwestern PA. Is there anything I should try to do for the sun? Vitamins D and C. You don't get C from the sun. Should I up it through things like liver/supplements? Yeah. I mean, liver, you'll get some vitamin D, but also take a vitamin D supplement. That's totally fine. But grass-fed beef and organ meats are definitely essential. That's your multivitamin right there. I don't take any vitamins like C or D. And remember, if you're getting a lot of sun during the summer, because like now the sun angle is changing a little bit. So if you're looking at the sun and the shadow is longer than the height of your body, the angle of the sun is not really sufficient for getting vitamin D. So supplementation is good. But if you are, I've gotten so much sun in the summer, and vitamin D is one of those it's really a hormone, but it's fat soluble. It's like that kind of thing. So it's stored. So you build up vitamin D. And the whole point is you build up vitamin D over the summer, and then you can maintain it through the winter. But, proper nutrition and also supplementation, because vitamin D is so dirt cheap, that's good to maintain throughout the winter too. So I would definitely, vitamin D is a great thing. If you're in Pennsylvania, definitely a vitamin D supplement, and your organ meats and stuff will, quality things like bone broth will get you a lot of those minerals and vitamins that you need to. Good question. Jeremy Bellevue. Good name. Hello, fam. Hello, Papa Swole. First time catching a live stream. Well, welcome. And since I discovered your podcast, great content. I know motivation is bullshit, but still the Daily Swole is really motivating to improve. I appreciate that. I appreciate giving you that kick in the tank. Welcome to the live stream. Tyler, will you be giving kids a bloody beef liver and steak for Halloween once again? I'd love to. We'd probably be giving out the same thing as last year, some organic mango, dried mango, and some grass-fed beef jerky, like little singles. The kids fucking love it. They love it. They go crazy for it. Kids know when they're getting like real food. And what parents going to be like, when they eat all this fucking candy. You can only have so much candy, or only a couple pieces tonight. They're like, here, eat the fucking beef liver. Here, eat the beef jerky. Like, go to town. Beef jerky and mangoes. Yeah, totally. Lady Hawk, Papa Swole, what are your thoughts on foam rolling for the TFL and IT band issues? I'm new to the idea of foam rolling, but heard it might help my hip and knee issues. It can give you some temporary relief, but it's not going to be the be-all, end-all. You need to be doing mobility and strengthening for the hip and the knee. So people foam roll these things, and then it's just going to go back to the same tightness if you're not creating proper strength around these joints. So it might cause a little relief. You're not really lengthening the IT band. That could pull a fucking... People think, oh, I'm going to lengthen the IT band. Not really. It can pull a tractor trailer. You're not loosening that fucking like deep, hardcore tendinous tissue. You're not stretching that shit. But there are a lot of muscles like the tensor fasciae lata, like you mentioned. That's a hip flexor muscle. And also when it's a closed chain, it'll internally rotate the knee. So if you have a lot of knee valgus, it can be because of those tight hip flexor muscles that are causing, or the TFL specifically, that's causing internal rotation of the femur. So it can definitely release or kind of loosen up maybe some muscles that are attaching onto it, like the vastus lateralis and the, gluteus medius and all these other muscles that might be attaching onto it or having some adhesions. But doing hip flexor strengthening, you don't just want to stretch your hip flexor, you want to strengthen it. So doing things like monkey foot, or tying a kettlebell or an ankle weight and doing standing knee raises or reverse squats lying down with a cable machine anchored to your ankles, pulling your knees to your chest. That's important. Strengthening your hamstrings, Jefferson curls, anterior tibialis work, reverse sled. You want to strengthen all these muscles. There's a lot of talk about stretching, and you want to stretch your hip flexors. You want to stretch your hamstrings, and it's really not true. You want these things to be mobile. You want them to be able to change and have great range with length, but also strength through that range. So just stretching something a little bit. I stretch my hip flexors, then going back to your normal shit, it's just going to tighten right back up. So unless you're actually doing strength training for these muscles around your hip, it's just going to go back. You foam roll a little bit, and then you'll have the same tightness issues coming right back. That's why people get a massage and they feel good for like a day, and then they get tight again. It's because you're just releasing it, and then your poor habits and poor posture is going to snap that shit right back into place or out of place. Aura the Cat, Papa Swole, best leg and glute exercise to build muscle without heavy weights. Single leg balance, single leg squats, hip bridges, split squats are great. Lunges are great. Astergrass lunges are awesome. Sissy squats, reverse leg extensions, reverse Nordics. Nordic curls are great. That's technically not with weight. You can get an anchor for the door or put your legs under a bed and put a pad under your knees. You can do Nordic curls. There's a lot of good exercises. Alex Brabant, Papa Swole, what firearm would you suggest for first-time buyer? I'd like to be able to use one in case I ever need it. Well, that's the whole point, but I don't know where to start. Sorry for the repost. Chat swallowed my question. I would go to, first I would make sure that you take a course so you learn how to respect and how to handle a firearm properly. And then when you do that, you can also get a private lesson perhaps. And if you go to a local range, every range is different, but I would rent with your instructor. I would rent a couple different ones. Usually you can rent firearms and you could try a couple different options, because you're not going to, it's a terrible idea to just be like, oh, get this one, because everyone's hand is different. You want to find one that feels comfortable and then start there. So the first one that I got was a Walther PPS M2. And it's just because I tried a couple different ones. I tried an M&P Shield, and I tried something else. I think it was I forget if it was a Glock or not. And that one just felt good at the time. But when you're new to firearms, you don't really know what feels good, but you have to start somewhere. So I got that one, and then I realized it was too fucking heavy. It didn't have enough rounds available. It's a nice weapon, but it's fucking heavy as shit. So, okay, fine. So I leave that at home. So then as you get into it, it's kind of like shoes. You don't have one pair of shoes. There's kind of like weights. You don't have one tool. You have different tools for different applications. Some firearms don't have availability for attachment. Some of them are great for conceal, but they don't have a large magazine capacity. You have to figure out what works best for you, but You want to find something that feels more like an extension of your body. And of course, the worst thing that you can do, or one of the worst things you can do, is to buy a firearm and not practice. So the most important thing is no matter what you have, no matter what firearm you have, you need to practice and practice and practice and practice and practice. The last thing you want to do is have one and put it in your drawer, because then when you need it, you're not going to know how to fucking use it. If you need to use your firearm, it needs to be second nature. It needs to be without thinking, muscle memory. So if you just, the worst thing you could do is to have one and then not practice with it. It's the stupidest fucking thing. It's like having a gym membership and never going. It's like buying weights and never using them. It's just stupid. And it's actually more dangerous to have one and not practice with it than to, this is why people have issues with firearms, because they buy them and then they don't know how to secure them. They don't practice with them. They don't know how to use them. And then you have accidents because you just didn't do it properly. So people that have accidents are just not being careful with their weapons. And if you have an accident, or if you have an accidental discharge, it's not going to kill someone if you're handling your firearm properly. It's going to shoot into the ground or shoot into the sky. I mean, of course it can come back down, but people are like, oh, what's in here? And they're looking at it. Yeah, accidental discharge to your fucking face. It's like, never point your weapon at something that you're not willing to destroy. There's a lot of other, but that's why you need to take a course. Take a course, learn how to, I don't know where you live, can you have concealed carry? You should still take a course and still educate yourself. Yeah, the Hellcat's a good one. I wanted to pick one up. Does anyone know how to buy firearms right now without getting tracked? Now you can't buy firearms from like Visa or MasterCard without getting flagged. I guess it's like money order or cash. But I feel like the Hellcat fit my hand better naturally. But some of the best ones for like concealed carry are like Hellcat and the SIG P365. Those are very popular concealed carry, because they're small, but they have large mags. That's why the Walther PPS M2, it was like, what, a 7+1? It was just, for the weight, it was horrendous. Especially if you're carrying, you have hollow points. It's when you have a full mag in there, it's fucking heavy as shit. It's like carrying a lead brick around. It's awful. Anyway, just some thoughts there. Good question. Them in Black, on the subject of firearms, I've been told a belly band is best for concealed carry during activities such as running outdoors. Are they kind of all the same? Is there a preferred brand? Yeah. There's, oh God, what the fuck did I just? Oh shit. Hold on a second. I have to remember. Let me look for a second. Yeah, I have a brand for you. If you're looking to, if you have a, hold on a second. Let me look at the brand. It's a really good option, and there's a lot of different options for. Yeah, I couldn't remember the name for a second. Yeah, Jeremy, you can use PayPal. Fuck your couch. Yeah, go check out, I think it's the site Philster, PHILSTR, and you can get it specifically for your gun. You can get it with a light or without, and you can get a cheap belly band, but those things are, You want something that fits your firearm properly. Hey, keeps kicking the wall. So that's a thing. That's the thing that I've heard about the Hellcat, like that the trigger is a little bit, and that the recoil's a lot. The SIG, I have a SIG, P365. That shit is, it was shocking the first time I fired it. It's that thing. It's amazing. The kick is shockingly light. Usually, the smaller the firearm, you're gonna get more kick because there's less mass and it's gonna push more. So you have a bigger firearm, like a full-size Glock or something, it's not going to kick as much. But holy shit, it's smooth. It's smooth. Shocker. German engineering is going to be super tight. Who makes Springfield? That's a USA. Anyway, where were we? So again, people are saying for women they have boob holsters. Again, that one from Philster, PHILSTR. I forget what it's called, but It's really good, and you can put it anywhere. The bottom line, it really doesn't matter so much. It doesn't matter so much what holster. Like, if you don't practice from it, you're not going to be able to draw effectively anyway. So whether it's like, oh, a belly band is this, or a leg holster this, you know, I mean, people like, oh, you could put it in your purse, but what if you're separated from your purse? What if someone fucking steals your purse, rips it off your body? Well, then you have to get it out of your purse. So there's a lot of issues with that. But for people that are nurses or that wear shorts, you know, I'm not wearing belts all the time. How do you draw? So the Filster is a great option. You don't want to be separated from your firearm. That should be on your body. That's how you defend yourself. If someone steals your purse, then fuck, they take your goddamn gun. It's retarded. There's some applications, but women often are wearing clothes that, you know, it'll print. You know, you can't conceal it. And doing open carry is one of the stupidest things you could fucking do. It's like, don't let people know what someone can take it from you, or don't let people know. It's, you know, even if it's legal to open carry, you're just a walking target. It's like, hey, take this. Hey, look at what I have. It's really dumb. So again, when people ask about, like, you know, what's the best holster? Like, I'm not an expert, but if you don't practice, nothing is. It doesn't matter what kind of holster you have or whatever it is. Tulster makes good holsters too. There's a lot of different options. So anyway, good question. Flex that 2A, baby. Let's go. Flex that 2A. Come and get them. Come and get them. All right, we have to get into some... We got more questions, but we have to move into some balls deep. Let's go, fam. Let's go, fam. Good questions. Good questions.
That's deep.
Do I watch Active Self Protection? Is that a show? April, do I watch Active Self Protection? What's that? I mean, I think constitutional carry should be, you know, which is the whole thing. I mean, open carry is fine for it to be legal. I just think if you're doing it, it's fucking dumb. It's dumb. It's like, hey, look, here's my weak point. Here's what I have. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. All right, let's get into some balls deep content. Looks like we made it. Looks like we're getting through okay. If we're going to get flagged, we're probably going to get flagged now. Reminder, tomorrow we have our overtime segment for members, swolenormousx.com. Let's fucking go. Good questions. April, it's on YouTube, guys, covering shooting, stabbing from all over the world, explain tactics. Yeah, there's a couple of things you should have. You should have a flashlight. You should have a knife, because... you know, I mean, you don't have to reload a knife. And remember, having a firearm is defensive. It's not, you know, it's defensive. What you're trying to do is get away from the situation. So if you can run, fucking run. You know, a knife and all these things are just other different layers of protection. Different layers of protection. And if someone else has a fucking knife, like, I think honestly, in so many ways, knives are much more dangerous than guns. They're much more easily concealable. They can kill you just as easily. It's very, very, like, you get hit with a knife, you're fucking done. Anyway, be careful. But those are, you know, you can watch those, you know, you can watch pages like that. I've never seen that one, but you can watch a lot of videos on your everyday carry. Acronym is EDC, so if you see that. All right. Good questions. Good questions, fam. Now, again, just like nutrition or training, when you first start hearing about this stuff, it could be overwhelming, but that's why you want to go and take a course. That's why you want to go take a course, learn how to handle a firearm, learn the rules and what you should do. And then it's just practice. It's practice. At one point, I didn't know how to shoot a firearm. I didn't know anything about it. And then you learn, and then you get one, and then you go and you practice. It's not cheap, but, you know, it's important to make sure that you have that ability. You know, you need it. You know, it's the kind of thing that you want to, if you need it, you have it. You don't want to need it and not have it. That's the worst thing. So it's just Trust me, bad people have them. Bad people have them, so you want to have them. That's the way you protect yourself. Just don't watch any of those stupid self-defense, videos. Like, all you gotta do is like, whack, whack, whack. Yeah. He grabs you from behind you. Most of that shit doesn't fucking work. Unless you know judo or jujitsu or, unless you understand. Remember, all these things are just a way to get away. You don't want to engage any of these situations. If someone's insulting you and talking shit and you can back up and be like, yo, fuck off, man, you can run, then fucking do it. It's not worth it. Drop your ego and survive. It's not worth it. Yeah, people kill people, not guns. People can use guns. They also use knives. They also use their hands. They push people off buildings. They smash them with baseball bats and bricks. Yep. You don't need a gun to kill someone. Yep, that's true, Frank. Frank says, it's proven that closing speed with a knife is faster than most draw speeds. Yeah. They did that like at 20 feet or something like that, or 20 or 30 feet or 40 feet. It's like you can't draw in time, or the percentage of you getting it off in time. And not to mention, if you pull, not only do you have to draw, you have to hit. Not only do you have to hit accurately. And guess what? Even if you hit at 10 feet and they're coming at you full speed, they're going to still hit you. They're going to still hit you or fall on you, or they're not going to be affected. They're going to hit you. And if they're on meth or they're on some kind of drug or they're just adrenaline, they're going to follow through. People just don't like hit. It's not like a movie, right? It's not like a Tarantino film where they're running at you like 100 miles an hour and then you shoot them and they fly back like 40 feet. It's not like Kill Bill. You shoot someone, they're still going to keep on coming forward. All right. And one of the best pieces of advice or the best quotes is, if you wouldn't go somewhere without a gun, don't go there with a gun. Let me see if I said that right. If you're going somewhere that you wouldn't go without a gun, then don't go with one. So it's like, let's say you're going to some neighborhood. You're like, oh man, if I'm going there, like I'm bringing my gun. It's like, then you shouldn't be going there to begin with. So if you wouldn't go somewhere without a gun, then don't go there with one. And that's just good advice. It's like, hey, it's going to be a dangerous area. Cool. I'm going to bring my firearm and I'll be safe. Like, why are you going to a dangerous situation anyway? It doesn't mean you shouldn't bring it everywhere you go. It just means like, hey, would you go to the supermarket without one? It's like, in most instances, it's going to be fine. So like, I would go there without one. It's like, okay, you bring it anyway. But if there's somewhere that like, oh shit, I wouldn't go there without my piece, then why the fuck are you going there? And unfortunately, there are more places, more and more situations where you'd be like, I wouldn't go there. More and more situations and more places are just not safe, period. So it's just a good way to think about it. It's like, yeah, don't bring a gun somewhere thinking like, oh, I'm extra safe because now I'm bringing this. It's like, you shouldn't be going to that place. If you're at risk from the start, it's not a good decision. Yeah, exactly. Don't go looking for the fight. I'm not going to go to the hood without a gun. Then why are you going to the hood? Like, why would you go anyway? It seems common sense, but we know common sense is not common sense. All right, speaking of common sense that we don't have, let's get into that video yesterday that we're going to watch that was a little bit on the long side. This is called Fat Activist on Dr. Phil. It's a few minutes long.
What's in the box?
But apparently it's worth it, or so I was told, so let's just jump right into it.
Since I'm a middle-aged, thank you, white guy that doesn't apparently know how to read current research, I would like to talk to a female. I'd like to welcome nutritionist and CEO and owner of ProFit, Kelsey Kaler. Kelsey, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Weigh in on this.
Data is really what matters. And I run lab tests on my clients. So everybody does blood tests. I do stool testing. And fat is an organ, and it influences inflammation, it influences your hormones, and it puts stress on your organs. And eventually those organs begin to fail. And I've seen that over and over on lab testing. And so it's something that we have data to prove. Also, being obese is putting you at risk for all-cause mortality, which is cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and just organ failures, like even the gallbladder is included in that too.
Not to mention orthopedic problems, which are huge.
What are some of your favorite studies that you've read that aim to research people who are, as you say, obese, so people who are overweight, who don't have organ failure, who don't have orthopedic issues, what are some of your favorite studies and research that you've read exploring healthy fat people?
Well, nothing in medicine's 100%.
Sure.
So
Healthy
you're going to
fat
look
people.
at data and you're going to look at percentages. And when you look at people who are 40, 50 more pounds overweight, the statistics tends to indicate, and this is very well documented, that they run more problems. It doesn't mean that everybody who's overweight is going to have these problems, but the risk is much greater than a person who is at ideal BMI.
What
or
body
healthy
fat
BMI.
is inflammatory. So regardless of how much you have, it is increasing inflammation. And inflammation is the root cause of all disease, regardless of what it is. And so it's important to look at the data in regards to that and really look at, okay, are you insulin resistant? Because insulin resistance can lead to dementia. They're calling dementia type 3 diabetes. And if you're insulin resistant now, then you're setting yourself up for things like dementia in the future too.
Well, let me add Cameron to this as well, because Cameron, you're a science and health journalist and have been for 10 years. Does the literature that you review, the science that you review, suggest that being obese and morbidly obese put patients at higher risks for health complications or not?
100%, 100%. And I just want to say, because I've been overweight myself, I have a lot of respect for you guys, and I know what it's like to be mistreated, but I think what you're saying about the science is very, very dangerous. And just to give one example, New England Journal of Medicine, 2017, they tracked 4 million deaths. 60% of them were in obese people. And there's been research done that shows that the bigger you get, the greater your risk for heart disease, for stroke, for diabetes. And the fancy $5 phrase is a dose-response relationship. So the bigger you are, the bigger your risk. So this has been very thoroughly documented, like the doctor said. And people should love themselves, they should respect themselves, but they should not carry that into the science to where they're denying the risk. That's very, very dangerous.
I've also, though, seen documentation that weight-related discrimination and marginalization in society can lead to almost all of the things that science has thought that weight itself was leading to. And so then that opens a conversation of, what actually is the motivating factor behind those trends that we're seeing when we do see them? And we also have a huge problem in this country with scientific literacy, which you know, being a science journalist. And so what I think happens when when people go through all of the training, like Dr. Phil, you must have spent at least 5 or 6 years at the University of North Texas getting your master's and your PhD. And so one thing that I'm sure that you learned when you were there, and that a lot of people unfortunately don't learn through like the American schooling system, is that a study is a study. And scientists know the impact of what one study means. But you really do have to look at how is the data collected, and who was studied and how long were they studied, and then were they studied in the same way the initial time and the follow-up time? And
well, let me address that if I can.
Sure.
So you have studies from universities all over the world, different populations, different study designs, different lengths of time, and they all will consistently show that being obese is a very serious health risk.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click
Nope.
the link in the description and tell.
All right, well, that's not how I thought this video was going to go, so there was some super based shit on that one. It's very true. Like the research is, and like the professionals that are actually on the cutting edge of logic and common sense are treating fat like an organ. Like this is why having excessive body fat does lead to constant and chronic inflammation. It does lead to these negative health outcomes. So both of those people had on was legit. I did not expect it. I thought it was just going to be like, you know, a Jerry Springer episode or something like that. I didn't know there's going to actually be logic and common sense. So yeah, fantastic. Excellent. But you see how it's like grasping at anything. Is like, well, you know, all these studies and yeah, not every study is done properly, but I mean, this has just been like compounded to, there's just excess redundancy on obesity being a huge problem. Trying to trying to find a reason to stay fat. All right, let's pick a video. Let's go here. Let's do, oh, Jesus. Oh, no, not you again. Nice. Oh, pick a number 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, or 3. Get ready to vomit. There's some vomit here. There's some
Inconceivable!
There's some vomit here.
I don't know
Let's
how
go,
to
fam.
put this.
Hit that like button. Subscribe to the show.
I'm kind of a big deal.
If you haven't yet, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, bang your ear holes. Share the podcast right now. Share. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. When you come in, everyone, just hit it. Hit the like button. Hit the fucking like button. And drop some comments. Drop some biceps and gorillas. Let's fucking go. Let's see, Quinn. Let's go with a Quinn today. Quinn, number 3. Quinn, number 3. You picked the worst fucking one. And also, let's see, who else picked number 3? Vinny picked number 3. We had Tyler, number 3, retardism, glasses and face tattoos. Very specific. You're definitely going to see, there's definitely retardism and glasses in this one. I don't know about the face tattoos. This is a bad one. All right, this video is titled, Thin People Don't Deal with Fat Phobia. Antelopes don't deal with sharks. Antelopes don't deal with sharks. Clouds don't deal with dirt. Snakes don't deal with cougars. Okay. Thin people, you mean thin people don't deal with issues resulting from being fucking fat as shit? I guess they won't they? I guess they wouldn't. Would they now? All right, here we go.
Thin people don't have to deal with systemic fat phobia. We all continuously feel the need to compare your experiences to ours when they're not comparable.
God damn it, I don't know what it is about your face, but I want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really. It's your face.
Oh my God. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Let's go, baby. Let's go, Howie. Oh man, your face. Jesus Christ. Your face has more body fat than my entire existence.
Can see the fact that there are struggles to growing up with any body type, and nobody likes feeling made fun of or bullied for their body type. That I completely agree with. But when fat people talk about fat phobia, we're talking about the systemic oppression that fat people face.
They don't. The only oppression that fat people face is from gravity, and that's no one's fault. That was just here before we existed, okay? Mass attracts mass, the law of attraction. Mass attracts mass. So because gravity is oppressing you, that doesn't mean that society is oppressing you. You can change your lifestyle habits and see many, 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 many things progress in your life, including your body fat percentage, and you won't have to complain. But that's probably the reason why you don't want to stop doing what you're doing. You don't want to change your habits because then no one will give you victim attention. Parents, hug your children. Hug your children.
We live in a world that is not meant for fat people. If you're a fat person, going to school, going to work, going to the hospital, you are going to face difficulties that thin people will not have to face. For example, just for something as simple as school, attending my lectures, a lot of the lectures that I attended had half desks, so I couldn't always fit in them. Do you know?
The desks are very uncomfortable for all people. Of course, if you're morbidly obese, it's going to be hard to fit into tight spaces. Like if you have a huge fucking cock, it's going to be hard to get into a, you know what?
How frustrating it is to just have to make accommodations to be able to fit in a desk. Those classrooms are literally not meant for someone of my body size.
No shit.
Going to the doctor, my concerns are dismissed, and I'm just told to lose weight regardless of what's going on with me.
AKA change your lifestyle habits. Regardless of what's going on with you, you are that way because of your lifestyle habits. So it's not regardless of what's going on with you. It's because of what you're doing is leading to your current state. Do some people have to pay more attention to things? Sure. But I guarantee if you spent, to my detriment, if you spent a year or 6 months with me, if you literally ate and did what I told you to do, like let's say you just copied what I did, you'd lose fat so fucking rapidly. It'd be ridiculous. I would not want to spend time with you. But if you did. Okay.
People can't go into stores and buy clothing. Fat people are reminded every day we're not welcome in the world.
The problem here is fat people remind themselves every day that they're not welcome. Like you're not happy with yourself. So you're projecting that into everyone else. What do you mean you're not welcome in the world? There's a McDonald's on every fucking corner. There's Krispy Kremes all over the country. There's Taco Bells and Wendy's and Sonics and fucking KFCs, and there's fast food and garbage everywhere at every gas station, at every turn. There are fucking holidays that just revolve around food. It's quite the opposite. Being obese is promoted. And of course, now it's even being glamorized, which is disgusting because of the lack of self-respect and the lack of personal responsibility for your outcomes. So you trash your health and then you're blaming everyone else. You're projecting your own self-hatred, which no one likes. No one likes a victim. That's not attractive to be around. When I say attractive, for multiple reasons, but no one wants to spend time with someone who just complains and, woe is me. No one wants to spend time with someone like that. So the only way you're getting love and attention is from posting this garbage on social media. And I understand that. Everyone has their own trauma and their own, upbringing, for better or for worse. But it doesn't give you any less responsibility and any less power to change these things. So rather than taking the appropriate response and changing, and learning more about endocrine disruptors and your sleep quality and what you're eating and really putting in proper effort. I've tried all these things. Bullshit. You haven't done the right things. Doesn't matter how many things you've tried, you haven't done the right things yet. And everyone's going to be able to lose fat. Everyone. If your thyroid's fucked up, it's because of the endocrine disruptors and your lifestyle habits. If you have PCOS, if you have all these other, issues, it's because of insulin resistance. It's because of your body fat percentage. It's because of your poor lifestyle habits. It's because of these things. You weren't obese first. This is a product of it. And yeah, your parents and genetics can play a role, epigenetics, and your parents, consuming tons of, alcohol or drugs or endocrine disruptors and plastics and things when you were, in utero. This makes a big difference, but it doesn't mean that you are unable to make positive lifestyle changes. You just haven't been educated properly, and most people aren't. But playing the victim is not giving you, you're giving up your, whatever power you have to make positive changes, you're giving up and you're blaming everyone else for systemic oppression because it's easier. It's easier to change your hashtags than to change your habits. You're just being a victim. In other words, it's not my fault, it's everyone else. Bullshit. It's you. It's you. And will always be you until you make those changes. So there's that too.
You make me happy.
And black lipstick is atrocious on literally every person. Oh, we're getting throttled. Shocker. All right, fam, pick a number. Number 1 or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Pick a number. Number 1.
Out of the door, line on the left, one crossing.
Pick a number. Number 1, number 2. Number 2 or number Schwan? Number Schwan or number 2? Pick a number. Here we go. Hey, here we go. It's the Daily Swole. It's the Daily Swole. Yeah. Pick a number. Number Schwan or number 2. All right, let's do this. I guess the chat's getting delayed because we're getting throttled a little bit. So let's go with this one. Let me see. Let's do number 2. Let's do number 2. Number 2. We'll do number 2. Steffi says, a video I watched the other day says there's a direct link between ingesting dairy and female reproductive problems because of high estrogen in the dairy. I would agree with this. And the reason is in many cases because it's pasteurized dairy, things that are processed and put in plastic. Also, it's because when these cows are consuming corn and soy that are literally covered with atrazine and glyphosate, like these things are all estrogenic. So that's a huge problem with dairy. And that's why getting raw dairy from grass-fed cows in glass, if possible, is very, very important. Yep. Check out that book, Estrogeneration. It'll explain all the high-risk compounds and foods and sources that are promoting estrogen in the human population, destroying our testosterone and ability to have children. Like, why do so many people have issues conceiving today? It's because of all these things in our environment. That's not even a question. It's so obvious. All of a sudden, the only thing that we're designed or have evolved to do to reproduce is so hard. Like, why are you trying? Why do you have to try so fucking hard? It's because you're not healthy. And if you're literally just sterilizing yourself, not with you know, not because of the trans shit, but if you're just sterilizing yourself with plastic and birth control and deodorants and colognes and all these different phthalates and parabens, like, yeah, you're going to fuck your world up. Eating garbage, not sleeping, constantly stressed out. Oh, we don't know what it is. Who knows? Who knows? It's because of our society, like, promoting things without knowing their downsides. Like, hey, we should eat these things and just slather these things all over ourselves. And then once they're proven to be bad, then we'll remove them. It's the opposite. You should have to prove things to be safe before we implement all these chemicals and garbage. But it's all the FDA says it's fine. It's fine until it's not, right? The vaccines, aka experimental gene therapy, was fine until we're realizing, which most of us already knew from the start, that they're causing blood clots and cancers and, you know, reproductive issues. Like, yeah, let's not wait to see if it's safe. Let's just implement it and be like, oopsies. All right, number 2, this is called First Diet at 10.
I was 10.
Ugh.
10 when I was put on my first diet.
You
There
need
was
a
no
diet
way
for
possible
glasses.
that I could not have gotten completely sucked in to diet culture and continued yo-yo dieting for over 35 more years.
Okay, well, you weren't actually fed properly and educated properly. Your parents didn't know. I mean, put on a diet. In other words, your parents did dumb stuff. Like, that's unfortunate when you're 10, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a, like, you obviously don't eat healthy. You don't look healthy. Your glasses are atrocious. So, I mean, of course, diet culture. Yeah, doing dumb shit is going to be bad. Don't do dumb shit. Don't do dumb shit. But we'll just keep on blaming the dumb shit for being dumb. Like, that's what you're doing. Like, oh, diet culture is dumb. Yeah, don't do dumb shit. Dumb shit doesn't work. Dumb shit's dumb. Oh my God, a revelation.
I have 4 kids, and
Ooh.
as each of them has progressively...
Damn. Reproduced.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people?
God damn it.
Emotional damage.
4? This multiplied 4 times.
turned 10, I have been mortified. I mean, like, who looks at a 10-year-old? Reasonably fit, running around, happy 10-year-olds and says, yes, let's restrict that one's food.
Probably the same people that are like, yes, let's cut off their tits and solder their vagina shut. Let's give them a fake dick or turn their dick inside out. Yeah, let's put them on puberty blockers. Similar people. Facts. No printer.
I had 2 liquid, they were like pudding meals a day. I mixed some powder with milk, and then I had a sensible dinner. I mean, it was the 80s. That was pretty par for the course.
Yeah, your parents were
I say all
stupid.
this to let you know. If you were placed in diet culture without your consent, you don't have to stay there. You can live an anti-diet life. I help people.
You can live an anti-diet life. So again, you know, for her hardships and her lack of quality parenting, okay, I understand. But then that turns into this religion. It turns into this ideology, like an anti-diet life. It gives you an other. It's like a cult. It just gives you this opposition, an anti-diet rather than pro-health. That's what it is. An anti-diet life rather than pro-health. A lot of people are just against that thing. They're not really for anything logical, right? 2020 election. Everyone was anti-Trump, not for Biden. He's a demented old fucking man. He's a shitty fucking person. He's a terrible fucking individual. Most people in politics are. So it's like, I'm anti-diet. I'm anti. Cool. What are you for? Anti-diet. Keep being the victim, keep blaming everyone else, keep being defensive. How about pro-health? How about that? All right, last one. You get a Matt Damon for that one.
Matt Damon.
What's in the box?
Dodson. Dodson! We've
All
got
right,
Dodson
this
here!
one's titled BMI. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In other words, if you're wider than you are tall, probably should change your habits. Just saying. Just saying.
It never ceases to amaze me how often I have to make this video, but I do.
Oh my god, I have to make this video. Oh, why don't you use fucking consonants in your talking? Talking. Do you know what the BMI is? It never ceases to amaze me how my make this video. So this is how you sound when your jaw is just broken. Never ceases to amaze me how many times I take that video. Another thing to me, welcome to the day. My name is Papa Sawyer. God, I'm so fucking up. I'm so over this shit. Again, I don't have anything wrong with accents. Some of you might be like, oh, that's my accent. Yeah, but you're not using your accent to vocalize stupid shit. This would sound stupid in any language. It just sounds extra dumb in certain accents. And that's just a fact. That's just a fact. When you're saying stupid shit with an accent like this, it just amplifies the stupidity of the message. For whatever reason, it just makes it sound more fucking stupid. And that it is what it is. Any language would be dumb, but it's just extra dumb with that sound. There might be another accent out there or language that makes it even sound stupider. I'm open to it. It sounds like Rocky, you know. It never ceases to amaze me, Adrian. How many times I gotta make this video, you know? I guess I'm just not cut out to be a muscular man. No.
It never ceases to amaze me how often I have to make this video, but I do know what the BMI is, and the BMI is bullshit.
It's not.
I did make a video maybe last week with all of the references for all of this information.
No one that's actually like healthy and in, you know, fit says BMI is bullshit. You know why? Because they're not complaining and trying to justify being fat. Of course, BMI is bullshit. Of course, the scale at the doctor's office is bullshit. Oh my God, everything, the whole culture is bullshit. Everyone's against you. No, they're not. They're not. They're not against you. You're against yourself. You hate yourself. So you're just projecting it onto everything else around you. Like it's their fault that you keep on eating cake. It's everyone else's fault that you just don't exercise and you just don't take care of yourself. You keep putting these chemical fucking tampons up your puss. Oh, it's everyone else's fault. Okay, enjoy that titanium dioxide. Oh, I have all these problems. Yeah, you're interrupting your endocrine system with birth control. You wonder why you're having fucking issues. Fucking got fucking shit, man. Cool.
I'm about to give you, so go back and find that. But basically, the BMI was invented by a mathematician, not a doctor, and his sample size...
Oh, not a doctor? Oh, it's not a doctor. Oh, because doctors are always right. Oh, a doctor. Oh. Every time a doctor speaks, I should listen to what the doctor says. Because the doctor was taught by another doctor that learned from another doctor who knew less than him. Just remember, the older you go, right? Your doctor was taught by another doctor in medical school who's taught by another doctor. And every doctor that's teaching in those generation of doctors, each doctor before them was stupider than the current ones. So maybe doctors are getting more and more dumb or less dumb. You know, they used to fucking pump fucking mercury up someone's asshole. Like, hey, we have to bleed them out a little bit. Let's poison them. Let's get the poison blood out of their system. Let's put mercury up their asshole. And these are the ones that taught those other generation of doctors in medical school. And then they taught other ones. And now they're just brainwashed to put out fucking prescription drugs. So most doctors don't have a fucking clue. They know how to prescribe an antibiotic. They might know about EKGs or like, oh, it sounds like you have something in your lungs. Let me recommend you to a pulmonologist. They know how to refer you to someone else who knows more about that one specific thing. And then each specialist is only focusing on that one organ system or that one area of the body. They're not looking at anything in a holistic manner. So, yeah. I should go to a respiratory doctor, and then I should go to a bone doctor, and then I should go to a brain doctor, and then I should go to an endocrinologist. It's like, you know, the body is connected, by the way. It's all fucking related. Yeah, BMI wasn't by a doctor, but you fucking hate doctors. Doctors are fat phobic. I thought doctors are fat phobic. Hold on. Maybe I can sound like her if I just put water in my mouth. Like I'm fucking like holding a fucking huge load. I thought doctors were fat phobic. I thought doctors were fat phobic, eh? If doctors are fat phobic, and why the matter that wasn't a doctor that did it in BMI, eh?
By a mathematician, not a doctor, and his sample size only used cisgender white men. So the BMI is racist and it's sexist because it doesn't take into account other people's bodies and how they fall. It also isn't a great indicator for health because it just takes into account fat on your body.
Which is one of the primary reasons why you're having insulin resistance and constant inflammation. It just takes into account how much extra fucking worthless fat you have on your body. That's all it does. Yeah, you know what it means? If you look like Tweedledee or Tweedledum, not healthy. Which is fucking fact. Would you be healthier if you lost an entire human being and you were a human being less? Yes, you would be healthier. Would you be healthier if you were one human instead of three? Fuck yes. Yes. Yeah, I know. There's trillions and trillions of fucking sperm. And like, this is the result of all the options, of all the possible combinations from that load. This one hit the egg. Life is a cruel joke.
It doesn't look at your comorbidities. It doesn't look at any of your observations, your heart rate, your blood pressure, any of that. It's literally just height, weight, fat.
No fucking shit. You mean it's only one metric? Oh my God. You mean stepping on a scale only tells you how strongly the earth is pulling you into its core? Or is that what you're saying? Are you saying that body weight only tells you body weight? Are you telling me that body mass index only goes by your height and weight? Are you telling me that's all it? Yes, exactly. It's one metric. But I'll tell you what, if you are very muscular, like for me, I'm overweight or obese according to BMI. So you use that, hey, BMI is not accurate for me. You know why? Because I'm fucking yoked. But if you don't exercise, if you do BMI with the average person, it's 1,000% accurate. And it might not be 1,000%. But if your BMI is obese, and you show me one person where the BMI says, like, in their BMI is obese, but they're really healthy when they don't lift, right? Okay. Well, this person's really healthy. They're just morbidly obese. This is all that it's saying. It's saying that for your height, for how tall you are, for how far away from the earth you are when you're vertical, you shouldn't be that fucking wide. In other words, there's no reason why you should be that wide. There's no reason why you should be that horizontally challenged. Why are you that wide? You're yay tall. Why are you yay wide? Why are you too yay wide? Too yay, too wide. Why are you that wide? For your height, there's no reason that you should be that wide. That's what BMI is saying. BMI is saying, why does it seem like you're lying down? Why is your circumference that extreme? Why do you have that much extra person on you when you're only this tall? That's what it's saying. And then, of course, someone with eyes and a functioning IQ of triple digits will be able to determine, oh, probably it's your fucking lifestyle habits. Couldn't possibly be the things that you do 24/7, 365. It has to be some mathematician that used mathematics to create some kind of logic. Because humans that have lighter skin and less melanin are so different from, I don't know, from other fucking humans. No one should be morbidly obese in any fucking culture. It's ludicrous. You
need to get with the times, babe. You can't tell a person's health by their weight at all. You
certainly can. You can definitely get a good idea and you can adjust and get a good idea of the risk. Someone who's morbidly obese is much higher risk for all-cause mortality, period, end of story. You have no idea what's going on inside their bodies. Okay, you have no idea, love, what's going on inside their bodies. I have a good idea about what's going in their bodies. I have a good idea. One, it's a lot of calories, and it's also zero dick. That's what's going in. That's what's not going in. This is one situation where you can tell a book by its cover fairly well. You get all the story? No, of course not. It's one metric. Just because it hurts your feelings doesn't make it less valuable or worthless just because you don't like it. Just because it says like, hey, you're not healthy. BMI wasn't created by... Everything in this world was created by someone that wasn't you, apparently. Yeah, someone created, I don't know, a car. Someone created how to fly. Someone created a coffee cup. Yeah, and it was a long time ago. Oh my God, something was created by someone in the past? Oh my God. Oh my God, it was created by someone that lived before me. Idiot.
Can't tell a person's health by their weight at all. You have no idea what's going on inside their bodies.
Pretty good idea. Oh, good. That was the end. Okay. That was super Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
All right. Fuck your couch. If you have one, fuck your couch. If you have a love seat, fuck your love seat. Fuck your ottoman. Fuck your 10 cats. All right. Let's give away today's Swole card. We made it.
Hadouken! House is a fucking prison! On planet bullshit! In the galaxy of this sucks camel dick!
You see why we need the dick draft? If you don't know what the dick draft is, these are brave young soldiers that are being sent to the front lines of DC, New York, Boulder, Colorado, Portland, and San Francisco, sending them to the front lines in order to dick these frustrated women who are projecting their self-hatred, and they are fucking backed up. They got those blue ovaries hardcore, and we are sending brave young soldiers there to do the Lord's work and to unite this country. And just like Thanos snapping his fingers, once the deed has been completed, the hair dye will magically erase. The septum piercings will erase. Just everything will be as it once was, and we can all celebrate and rejoice in the streets.
Fuck yeah!
Tough times, fam. Tough fucking times. Dick draft. We have a very special person that is a brave young man who's gone through a lot. You're in the right place. And I think we have a winner of today's dick draft. Today's dick draft is going to our very own new member, Devin, I think.
Congratulations!
It's a good post. It's a hardcore post. It's deep. Devin's been through a lot, has lost a lot of body fat, and is realizing now that he needs to make some sick fucking gains. And by the way, he's 21 years old. 21 years old. So we know he's virile. He's probably packing. We hope he is. He's definitely has the energy, and he definitely has the wherewithal to provide our squadrons with some solid eggplant. So, Devin, we welcome you into the fold in the Swole fam, and General Lacey will be honored to lead you into battle. So, congratulations, Devin. Congratulations, Devin. Godspeed. You brave young man. We are here for you, and we bid you adieu. So congratulations, Devin. Make sure you let Devin know, and hopefully you listen to the podcast. Make sure you let Devin know this is from the Swole fam discussion boards in the What's Up Beaches section. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com and send us Swole card 2350 Schwam in the subject, your mailing address in the bio of the email. And of course, Hopefully you look at this card and it gives you a little bit of laugh and you realize that you are home. You are in the Swole fam. You are part of this community and we are super stoked to have you. And hopefully this keeps you focused and, you know, gives you some more purpose. Like, you need to train hard, and trust me, you need to train very hard. I recommend extremely heavy kettlebell swings, hip thrusts, a lot of glute bridges and hip thrusts. It's going to take a lot of power to complete your mission, but brave soldier out there, brave soldier. Thank you so much for your service. Let's nut this beesh, shall we? Congratulations. All right, fam, we made it through today. I know we're getting a little throttling. It is what it is. But we made it. That's good news. We made it. So we'll be back here tomorrow. Remember, we have an overtime segment tomorrow right after the live stream. So if you are not yet a member, now's the time to join SwoleNormousX.com. Jump on those Fuck Your Resolution specials. And of course, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Hit the like button if you haven't yet on your way out. Helps tremendously. And of course, no matter what happens, Beaches, we're going to be here every day and we're going to be pushing through. We're going to be trudging on. I don't care if they try to throttle the show. We're going to do it anyway. And again, we're going to make it through. We're going to make it happen. They can't stop the Swole fam. They can't stop the Daily Fucking Swole. You know that.
A jelly donut?
I fart in your general direction.
Lieutenant Dan.
Let's go, Beaches! The Daily Fucking Sleeves. Oh, it's a Sleeves cast. Cerny, Hobo's Dick Cheese. I got you.
How about I send you a hobo's dick cheese?
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Aww. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
You can be fat and be healthy. I'm sorry, Lizzo, healthier than I will ever be.
Sad. Oh. Sad.
I better use my strong hand.
It is not my place as a smaller-bodied white man to comment on it.
And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight and then watch the hair